An elderly lady shopping for groceries made her way to the checkout. The young cashier suggested to the elderly lady that she should bring her own grocery bags because plastic bags are not good for the environment. The woman apologized to the young girl and explained, we just didn't have this green thing back in my day. The young clerk responded, "That's our problem today. Your generation did not care enough to save our environment for future generations." The older lady said that she was probably right. Back then, we returned milk bottles, soda bottles, and beer bottles to the store. The store sent them back to the plant to be washed and sterilized and refilled so it could use the same bottles over and over. So they really were recycled. But we didn't have the green thing back in our day. Grocery stores bagged our groceries in brown paper bags that we reused for numerous things. Most memorable, besides household garbage bags, was the use of brown paper bags as book covers for our school books. This was to ensure that public property was not defaced by our scribblings. But too bad we didn't do the green thing back then. We walked upstairs because we didn't have an escalator in every store and office building. We walked to the grocery store and didn't climb into a 300 horsepower machine every time we had to go 2 blocks. But you're right, we didn't have the green thing in our day. Back then we washed the baby's diapers because we didn't have the throwaway kind. We dried clothes on a line, not on an energy-gobbling machine burning up 220 volts. Wind and solar power really did dry our clothes back then. But too bad we didn't do the green thing back in our day. Back then, we had one TV or radio in the house, not a TV in every room, and the TV had a screen the size of a handkerchief, not a screen the size of Montana. In the kitchen, we blended and stirred by hand because we didn't have electric machines to do everything for us. Back then, we didn't fire up an engine and burn gasoline just to cut the lawn. We used a push mower that ran on human power. We exercised by working, so we didn't need to go to a health club to run on treadmills that operate on electricity. But hey, I guess all that doesn't mean a thing because we didn't have the green thing back then. We drank from a fountain when we were thirsty instead of using a cup or a plastic bottle every time we had a drink of water. Back then, people took the streetcar or a bus, and kids rode their bikes to school or walked instead of turning their moms into a 24-hour taxi service in the family's $45,000 SUV, which cost what a whole house did before the green thing. And we didn't need a computerized gadget to receive a signal beamed from satellites 23,000 miles out in space in order to find the nearest burger joint. What were we thinking? Isn't it funny how today's generation laments how wasteful we old folks were just because we didn't have the green thing back then? You see, we didn't need the green thing. We had what's called common sense, and we also don't need a lesson on conservation from a pierced tattooed freak that can't make change without a machine telling them what to do. The lady then picked up her groceries and walked out.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and donate at theraywarnershow.com.